Hello everybody, welcome back to From Rhythm to Algorithm Part 55, Connecting Logic. We're going to get back to last episode. We just talked about structured astronomy and some topics with I just consider biology and technology, but we'll get back to it, developing our novel original proof, and that's really what we'll be doing today, is mainly logic and a little bit of formal mathematics. We've asked the question, again, we're making a clear syllable by syllable differentiation between the word base, basis, and basic. Right, base and basis, those are things, not exactly sure the difference. Basic, that's an adjective. So again, just to linguistics, what are the orders of nouns and pronouns and adjectives? Maybe there's something unique there, definitive we can say there linguistically. But this is really what we're to focus on, right? We clear physical intuition. An object interacts with light. The shadow has clearly two iterations. So we said an object is the base. So connecting that logic to the physics. But again, then we've said that the language for the description of these solutions already exists because of just there's a lot of people. Everybody knows something, everyone can learn something. Someone describes an experience correctly over here. Doesn't matter the language. It matters the logic preserved by the language, the words. Right? That's why quotes are very poignant. They encapsulate a lot of logic. But how about who's been shopping before? Who looks at clothes? What kind of gradation do we have to clothing? I can buy a small shirt, a medium shirt, or a large shirt. And then it's extra small, extra small, extra extra small. Extra large, extra large, extra extra large. So what clear differentiation are we making there? And how do we apply that to base and to, again, the physical description of the two shadow iterations? Right? Well, medium is the base. Right? The approximate size of any given body is close to normal. It's average. Right? So we have mean, median, and mode. Median is the middle. In math class, medium is the middle of shopping, and the difference is one syllable. But it's logically the same thing. And linguistically, it's very similar, right? Median, medium. It changes one syllable, to a complete word. So that's how we're taking, again, I've said this proof is just the backing logic. This is up until the lecture one too many iterations. Now I'm just reverting right back to saying small, medium, and large, like I've been doing my whole life when I go shopping. But from that we can say base is the medium, the middle. So right, this is now a medium. Ooh, and you just said no. But that's right, then we can connect it to physics and say, well, right, again, vibration, light, momentum is the universal medium. But getting back to logic, medium is normal. Again, trying to produce a direct logical proof. A proof establishes a fact. And I'm connecting this logic to medium is normal. Now back to math class. A normal line is perpendicular to the tangent. So if you said, and again, that's a statement any high school math teacher would tell you. But logically, then I ask the question, what is the difference between perpendicularity and reciprocity? Right? If you reciprocate something, you give it back. You trying to find the right words. You reciprocate, vibrate. You, again, trying to find the right words logically in context. But it makes me ask the question in mathematics, what's the difference between reciprocity and perpendicularity? And again, once we establish this proof, and again, sensorality is the linguistic variable I'm integrating into the diction. Ontology is diction. But again, getting base, right, B-A-S-E, that's how we spell base. And then we talked about B-A-C-E not being a word. But then, how many times have you heard, did you know race car backwards? This right here is proof, again, of some sort of directionality, iteration, just right now as is. So again, how do we take directions with prepositions in our linguistics? What kind of limit does the small, medium, and large make? Medium is normal. normal is relative. So again, just again, talking through more of the logic. That's really what I want to, again, just connecting logic and race cars, the evidence of this, all of this stuff coming together. And now that's all I wanted to talk about for the proof today. And now I'm just going to talk a little bit about scientific denial. There's never been a person on this planet that has experienced more grassroots, genuine scientific denial than me. So I'll just give you some discussion about that. So now we're just going to talk about scientific denial in a lot of different kind of contexts. I'll just give you some stories. But the first thing I wanted to cover is, again, my LinkedIn post is currently talking about trying to sell one of my part of my alcohol company for a little bit of money. And then I say I'm the director of the global scientific research, because I am. These are all quotes from the past month or two from people, my direct neighbors that have come up to me to talk to me that I've never met before, never interacted with directly, and then they don't say hey, they clearly know who I am. We don't have to say what's his name. But so first story, I go get beer right around local convenience store. Walking down to get some beer. Bunch of, like, 3 kids, probably 9 to 13, come up to me. You know, they're like, yo, dude, what's up? And then I say, you know, do you guys study or learn anything? And the direct words out of their mouth, these are word-for-word quotes. We learn from your YouTube channel. The neighbor's kid said that. The neighbor said, I asked her one day, again, two ladies just sit catty corner adjacent to me. Whenever I'm talking to myself outside, they seem to be, I mean, again, I know you got microphones and stuff, but I was just like, hey, you know, what do you do for work? And she says, I study, and then she kind of trails off and says, biology. And I said, I also study biology. Biology is the study of life, correct? I'm a prodigious linguist. They speak in languages I don't know. Data points. They observe me. They tell me that. They've directly told me that. I'm being person by person, not these people. That's neighbor 1. But these are my directly adjacent neighbors. Then the other day, there's a little courtyard here, I'm walking around, see somebody else, just a young father, I don't know, 35 to 40, with his baby kid outside. I just wave, say hey. And I was just like, hey man, do you know any professors around here? And the guy was like, yeah, there's some professors here. Because like I said, what I think is going on, I said maybe 1 or 2 agents, like actual like FBI or some sort of like government, but just professors. And I'm from Columbus, Ohio. So it's not hard to have this this person know this person that already lives in this apartment complex. Just, hey, see what he does, or this or that. And so this is neighbor 2, which is not my direct neighbor, but down the way. And then, random tangent story, I already talked about it with the people, but literally almost like kind of got robbed or something weird at fucking Steak and Shake the other day, because again, negligence, if you don't publish my shit, people just genuinely react weird to me in person. But had some weird interaction at Steak and Shake, and it was like 1 or 2 of the neighbor kids was around. But we'll get to that point. But the neighbor lady over here, the 3 kids, like 3 days after that, come back down the little walkway in my apartment complex, directly recognize me, come up to talk to me again, and then the neighbor comes over, and her exact quote was, he's more mature than all of us. All of who? Like I said, I don't know their names. We haven't like talked on a personal level. More mature than who? Us? The 9, the 12, 13, and 17-year-olds? No, it's whatever the 15 people around here watching me are. And that's neighbor 1 again, the lady directly across from me. And then it gets way more specific. Let me make sure I'm still rolling. So then, again, 2, 3, 4 nights ago, I'm literally just sitting on my, not singing, not making any noise, literally just enjoying the evening, sitting on my porch. And my neighbor Prashant comes up and not even introduces himself, literally just stands directly on my porch, like, railing. And I'm just like, hey? Like, what? Again, doesn't say, hey, how are you? It clearly knows who I am, and then comes up to me. And so I'm just talking to him. Again, just when I guess your nationalities, I'm literally just learning languages. Like that's literally just me being a person. That's not really scientific. That's just me guessing. I mean, but I just again small. This is the beginning of our conversation. Just to see how he reacted. I was like, man, I wanted to get really good at languages one day, and maybe be because he's a software developer for HBS, I think. That's what he told me. And again, it could just be a friend of a friend, or just word gets around. That could be true. That could be false. Don't know. Don't care. But the point is I was like, just to see. I was like, I want to get really good at languages, and then maybe be a federal agent and just observe things. And he's just like kind of visibly chuckled and says, no, keep doing your videos. I think it's not the 30 subscribers I have, it's literally the neighbors talking about this shit. And they're clearly aware of it. Back to neighbors 1 and 2. Neighbor 1. When I'm sitting there talking with the 3 kids, or again, not like 13 to 17 year olds, and then the neighbor that's probably about my age, maybe a little bit younger, but like probably young 20s to about my age. I asked them the question, we're talking about smoking weed, and I told the neighbors, like, you smoke cigarettes, and then I said the statement, is cigarettes a very interesting word, isn't it? And they all you can just see, I mean, they're just like, oh, fuck, got us, got them. Because that's you get in the foggette, no boggette, cigarette is a fag. That was my, 2 videos ago, or last video. And so it's like, post that video, ask them that question in person 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours later. And again, it's just like, oh, fuck. They clearly, I mean, like... And so that, again, there's that. And then, about the steak and shake bullshit, whatever the fuck happened there, the Prashant guy directly says to that, he said, we didn't do that. Again, we, us. Who? Prashant is the only person I know you know by name. Who's we? Who's us? What's going on, guys? Man, water's really good at preserving signals. Regular radios are really good at preserving signals. Regular microphones are really good at preserving signals. I can buy technology too, boys and girls. And rest of these are all Prashant quotes. He said, I wish I would have known. Known what, Prashant? That it is what it is the structure of all logical sentences, even the ones we talk to each other? The first time we interacted, I was grading your logical thoughts as you spoke. But he told me I wish I would have known. Known what? That there's 100 new mathematical lectures on the internet? Or 55? But the other one, like the language series, that's still math, logical math. And then he said, do you need help moving? Genuinely appreciate that. No. But again, I don't... Frankly, I want to be a fucking business CEO compensated proportionally. I got a U-Haul truck and a couple local movers. You can pass that because I want to buy the tippy top service. Again, they show up, dismantle everything, I do nothing and leave. And I still can't really do that. So I appreciate you helping me move, but this is what fraud and negligence... Oh, and I also said directly to Prashant, this is illegal, and he said, it is. And it is. So it's like, practically, when you get scapegoated, this is practical. I want to be paid properly or proportionate to my earnings. Moving, the fact that I've had to move 4 or 5 times during this stuff has been done. Each time it's a fucking headache. And then, again, talking about drinking beer, again I said I drink 7 to 12 beers, probably 12, never really more than 14, have no desire, but if I sit around doing nothing in the summertime, it's like 12 or 14, but we're talking about drinking beers, and he's like, it's more than that. And I'm like, no it's not, like, I know you guys are bad at mathematics, but a case every other day is about 12 beers. And then he says, but this is the important part, is he says, I watch you. So when I post on LinkedIn saying people are watching me, it's because he says I watch you, directly to me in person. Again, this neighbor that I did not know just literally comes up to me and is just looking at me like this, like a zoo animal. Oh, there's that guy that can solve lots of stuff. And he says, come visit. like I want to fucking do this shit, man. We don't hang out. It's like, these are interactions. We don't hang out. I don't know any of these other people's names. Why the fuck would I want to visit this shit? This is actual scapegoating. Now here's the point to my family, to my mom. Here's a quote from my mom. I don't know how to unwind this. When I stop getting like fucking super harassed at my literal apartment, word for word, I watch you. And watching me doesn't bother me. Watching me and not paying me is honestly the most comical fucking dog shit ever. And then I post about it on LinkedIn, and the difference between paranoia and actually being watched because you're a prodigious linguist is first being a prodigious linguist and then having the people watching you tell you they're watching you. It's pretty good evidence. And then again, I have a good amount of data as well. And by good amount of data, I mean for sure. Interesting Sammy the Bull post yesterday. Shout out Sammy the Bull. I really appreciate your channel. Good storyteller, good speaker. Shout out Michael Franzese. But that, like I said, that's the evidence of right now today. And then I'll just talk a little bit more about scientific denial in the 21st century. So again, just some more scientific denial quotes from my direct family. We'll start there, right? Like I said, my mom said, I don't know what will unwind this for you. Again, when I post on LinkedIn about genuine business progressions, my second cousin mom is Brody Smith. He's got like 7 million subscribers on YouTube. If our family like supported me, right? People who wish you well but don't support your career don't wish you well. And so again, not sharing my videos, not liking my videos, past that being personally offended, and then when you tell me not to like talk about it or you get all uncomfortable, that's scientific denial, straight up. But again, it's again my neighbors not again every single day. And those are direct interactions of them telling me what's going on. They do this every single day. I see them every single day. And then again, in the past, I told my mom and my brother not to talk to me. Happy belated birthday, Mom. I just can't open the communication channels when you guys can't open your mouth and not be disrespectful. And unwind. You emphasize this word. It is what it is actually the structure of every logical statement you can speak. So the denial on a personal level is you speaking the logic that I've put on the internet, that people have been published, that they were talking to me about directly at my apartment, and then you acting again like I'm just some big diseased person. There's Brad with his bad attitude again. This has been my whole life like this. All the best to you too, man. My brother told me that after I wished him well, because I told him to fuck off and not contact me anymore. And he's just, mom's not very insecure, brother's insecure, and it's just like, all the best to you too. Brian, let me read to you a song lyric from Kevin Gates. Pretty sure you know who that is. King B. I bought you a chain, they making it rain on you. Again, who's they? Who's King B? I know you gotta go hard. When they talked about you, I prayed for you. I had my heart scarred by the woman that I used to call my mom. No, I fucked with you. I'm going to war with God behind you. I vented to you on whom I was talking about on Fly Again. My wing got bruised, healing my wounds, I done got fly again. Now all you hoes, a thing of the past, I could supply a 10. Metric ton loads coming in from the island. Shout out Mr. Kevin Gates. But Brian, I don't need people to wish me the best. I already have rap songs about me. There's another song by Mrs. Julie Fowles, a much lesser known artist in the Americas. Popular, but like, 50-ish thousand subscribers on YouTube. Popular in Ireland or Scotland. But there was a song that was called The Lost Words Blessing. You'll give that one a listen, Brian. Be the singer and the speaker. Oh, my little silver seeker. Julie Fowles, at 43, you're beautiful, your music's awesome, and you're not silver at 43. And then my dad says, these are just statements of scientific denial. All the best to you. My brother's got to get a jab in there somehow. Yeah, I don't need anyone to wish me well. We eat a lot of fish, my dad. Again, these are kind of tense conversations, and again, this is reference to the conversations I talked about in previous videos. But when my dad came over for the car registration, not a tense interaction, nothing, no disrespect at all. But he says we eat a lot of fish. And we're just sitting there talking about diet, cooking, and he says we eat a lot of fish as like, again, to my dad, fish is definitively better than meat, as opposed to, again, a balance, right? This amount of fish oil in the bloodstream is genuinely good, your delta omega-3s. a certain amount of fish oil in the bloodstream at extreme levels is toxic, right? Like potassium's good at some levels. Everything has a toxicity level. So just on a very, very casual level, my dad's saying we eat a lot of fish, as I'm just talking about cooking. Like I'm not telling someone meat's better than this or that. But scientific denial sounds like this. And then, what other ones I want to talk about? Oh, just the comments on my YouTube channel. Let me just read to you another comment I got on my YouTube channel. And again, these are proofs. This is not me like guessing or trying. I've been speaking in fundamental ontology provably for the past 5 straight years. And so again, like at this point, like I said, all the best to you too, man. Like if Brody Smith or Rick Nash or Peter Patton or anybody with a direct connection to someone with real outlets did what was the right thing to do, I wouldn't need this shit, like at all. And I just get insulted as it happens. Where does this comment at? Oh, but this, these are my family members. Those are my neighbors. Now this is just a random dude on the internet. This is just, and this is on the vibrational information theory introduction lecture. There's not a sentence on this. You can't type sentences that don't add specificity to the "it is what it is" statement. This is just the work of a crackpot. PhDs are awarded by academic institution to which Bradley never attended. I very much was a graduate student. Not a graduate student, but I had like a handful of again, general ed classes to get my bachelor's, and I was taking graduate physics classes and tried to turn this in. So just get denial at the face value. They just have to just deny. So that is already a lie. Again, nonsense, not even something to respond to. He wants to consider himself a scientist. I do science. I have empirical evidence. I have data. I have analysis. I have proofs. That's science. But the fact that he thinks his theory has merit already outs himself as someone who never will be one. So that's not even a coherent sentence. He wants to consider himself a scientist, but the fact that he thinks his theory has merit already outs himself as someone who never will be one. So being confident about scientific results make you not a scientist. Interesting. A scientist welcomes criticism. I've been openly offering $500,000 to talk about my work publicly for the past 5 straight years. And, and studies the work that is done by people before him. I've literally derived PV equals nRT. That's the big physics I've done, is derive that. So, again, yes. This video and all others series on this channel, again, this is the science channel. I genuinely have just music lessons. You can see how arrogant I am. First guitar lesson. I'm not a professional, and if you try, you will get better. And that's 100% empirically true. But the point is my point to you is he's not even looked at the videos on my channel. Like, not at all. I have my economics one. That is not really that mathematical. That is just me observing financial markets. Again, everyone on CNBC is really running out of words. Headwinds, tailwinds, what do we do? Let me make sure I'm still rolling. This video and all their series on this channel are just scatterbrained attempt to find non-existent patterns in words and concepts. Again, this is when someone with a 115 IQ sees 1,000 IQ points. The only thing you can do is go into denial. This is a proof. This is not me guessing. But the scatterbrain part is literally, like I said, you speak Spanish around someone who doesn't like Spanish, they're just going to call you illiterate. They're projecting at face value. And this is what happened when I was at school by the professors themselves. Nothing discussed has any link to anything anyone who actually got a PhD cares about. Eric Weinstein, once again, maybe your neighbor, that's not what's happening. Your neighbors are trailing off. Prashant yesterday, I watch you. I'm pretty sure a lot of PhDs, by a lot I mean all of them, and by all of them I mean all people care, right? Teach a man to fish, or you give a man a fish, you feed him a day. Teach a man to fish, you feed him forever. You teach a species how to think, you actually feed everybody forever. So what's next? He couldn't answer basic undergraduate questions in physics or math. I still have a 3.8, 3.9 average at OSU right now. Right now. And I just need, again, Russian literature over here, and I could speak Russian right now. When I was at OSU, I was in a film class. The only class I ever failed was a film class because the teacher was so heavily Russian accented. And then she went, real story, real tangent, but a story, but real. And she went from giving out the homework assignment in person in class to doing it over email. And my OSU email was fucked. When I transferred from MSU, my OSU email never worked properly. So I always used my MSU account. And so I literally just stopped getting the homework assignments and I failed the class while I was in the class, like physically going there. And she just, again, I couldn't tell because of her Russian accent that she put the homework in an email that I don't get. So that's when I failed the class, and that was really the breaking point for me at OSU. 100%. Nothing relevant to physics. And again, who's contributed more to the Russian language than me? But again, which is something every actual PhD could answer. Every actual PhD is literally under government directive to not change their arguments to anything I'm saying or to anything that else has been published. But again, dark energy and dark matter is still where we're at. We're still lying about, again, the most nonsensical concepts that could possibly exist. Word salad in the most provable fucking way. The Hubble tension. Tension in the proper ontology is extensively described here. Bradley is just going to be a forgotten wannabe. Again, I put, maybe this is even a directed quote. I put, I'm just a wannabe on my LinkedIn as a complete, again, driest humor fucking ever. That history will not give two shits about. If you think I want to be remembered in history, fuck no. I'm an actual scapegoat. The first day that I'm in the sentiment and I can control my body, control my bills, and not have people committing fraud and crime and telling me it's criminal on my doorstep, I'm going to go buy a nice house in the fucking country and live my life and get a wife and... So my point is, psychologically, a lot of insecure people want to be famous. I want to get paid. Fame I don't care about, either or. Frankly, I think it causes just more like problems, like attention, like people rob you, people, stuff like that. But if any, like I said, I'm not an arrogant person. I have no desire to be remembered in history. If you solve everything, you solve everything. It is what it is. Because his ego is so inflated. He lacks, if you get tortured, you don't have an ego. He lacks the introspection to see he's full of shit. Admit it. Yes, I'm going to admit it. I'm just crazy. And actually do something useful. Again, this is like Bill Kosiski, this is do something useful. If I was completely wrong, how would me talking through my own nonsense on my YouTube channel about science not be useful? How would producing music, what else, as an actual prodigious polymath, what else can I do? Visual arts, like painting or sculpting. I do everything else, maybe like architecture. Do something useful, I've done everything you can do. That's why he's broke, the opposite of fucking broke, and doesn't understand why. LOL. Again, Negan. And my response to this novel was subscribe, bro. and again, I just get so little comments on my YouTube channel, I look at all of them. But this is scientific denial. This is scientific denial. Again, go try to buy a house, or again, go inquire about mortgages. Just go see, who's got the best rate. They say, "Where's your job?" I own company. Again, like not like in a polite way, just like get the fuck out of our office. They can't even get to the point of actual scientific denial. They just say, "Fucking who's this guy?" So that's scientific denial in the 21st century. People in medical school, people in law school. And I've had other comments that got deleted by, again, someone that was, again, a PhD wannabe, an actual PhD wannabe. Because how many people go and take 5 to 7 years and they defend their dissertation, and it's like the microbial approaches to maybe thinking about a microphone stand that might stand better with 4 legs, with 1 less inch on a tripod against a tripod that already works well, and the efficiency is better by 0.076%, and I defend it against my 5 stupid faculty members. Do something useful. PhDs aren't on the news because they're not that fucking useful. PhDs go get jobs at shitty companies and suck Sundar Pichai's wiener for a paycheck. That's how relevant their science is. But yeah, I just wanted to cover some basic, some good old scientific denial from my friends to my neighbors to some random people on the internet, and that's what we have for From Rhythm to Algorithm, part 55, Connecting Logic. This will be my last video in this lovely apartment, and I should hopefully be back up and running by the end of next week. Thanks for watching.